The colony of New Harmony was burning. Mia pressed her back against the scorched wall of the medical bay, her breath coming in ragged gasps as another plasma bolt screamed overhead. Through the shattered windows, she could see the Kratheon war machines stalking through the settlement streets, their tripod legs crushing everything beneath them. Bodies lay scattered across the courtyard, colonists who had tried to flee, who had believed they could outrun extinction. "We're not going to make it," Leo whispered beside her, clutching his plasma rifle with white-knuckled hands. Blood trickled from a gash above his eye, mixing with the ash that coated his face. "They've cut off every evacuation route. The transport ships are all destroyed." Mia looked at the young soldier, barely 20 years old, conscripted from Earth's outer settlements to defend humanity's frontier colonies. He had never expected to face the Kratheon Dominion, the empire that had crushed 17 species and claimed half the galaxy as their hunting grounds. No one had expected them to find New Harmony so soon. "We hold this position," Mia said, though her voice cracked with exhaustion. As the colony's chief medical officer, she had sworn an oath to protect life. Now she found herself watching it extinguished, one scream at a time. "We hold it for the civilians in the underground shelter. Every minute we buy them is a chance." Leo nodded, though they both knew the truth. The Kratheon never left survivors. That was their way. Total annihilation, species by species, world by world. They had done it to the Velkans, to the Sorothi, to the peaceful Luminari who had never raised weapons against anyone. And now humanity's turn had come. The building shuddered as a war machine fired into the structure's foundation. Dust rained from the ceiling. Mia could hear the clicking, chittering language of the Kratheon warriors as they approached. Insectoid creatures bred for conquest, with exoskeletons that shrugged off conventional weapons and mandibles that could tear through steel. "Contact!" Leo shouted, firing a burst through the doorway. His shots found their mark, illuminating a Kratheon warrior in flashes of blue light, but the creature barely staggered. Its return fire forced them both to dive for cover. Mia's communicator crackled with static, then a desperate voice. "This is Captain Reeves in the Eastern District. We're overrun. They're everywhere. If anyone can hear this." The transmission dissolved into screams. She closed her eyes, fighting back tears. They were the last ones left. 37 colonists huddled in the shelter below, and 2 exhausted defenders above, against an empire that had never known defeat. Leo's rifle clicked empty. He looked at Mia with hollow eyes. "I'm out." The war machine's shadow fell across the doorway, blotting out the firelight from outside. Its weapon ports began to glow, charging for the final strike that would reduce the medical bay and everyone in it to ash. Mia reached for Leo's hand. If these were their last moments, at least they wouldn't face them alone. Then the sky split open. It wasn't thunder. It wasn't lightning. It was something that made the air itself scream, a sound like reality tearing at the seams. Mia looked up through the broken ceiling to see contrails of fire streaking down from the stratosphere. Hundreds of them, thousands of them, burning bright enough to turn night into day. The Kratheon war machine paused, its sensors sweeping upward. Then it exploded. The shockwave threw Mia and Leo backward. When her vision cleared, she saw the war machine's remains scattered across the street, its armor cracked open like an egg. And standing in the crater where it had stood was a figure in powered armor, black and silver with a white star emblazoned on the chest piece. "Earth Defense Force," a calm voice announced over open channels. "All Kratheon forces, you have 5 seconds to cease hostilities and withdraw. This is your only warning." More armored figures were landing now, dropping from the sky on pillars of fire. They moved with inhuman speed and precision, their weapons systems engaging the Kratheon with devastating efficiency. Mia watched in stunned silence as a single human soldier punched through a war machine's hull with his bare fist, then ripped its power core free. Leo laughed, a wild, disbelieving sound. "That's Titan Company. That's the actual Titan Company." Mia had heard the stories, of course. Everyone had. Elite warriors equipped with Earth's most advanced technology. Soldiers who had trained in environments that would kill ordinary humans. They were legends, myths, the kind of force that only deployed when humanity itself stood on the brink. The Kratheon didn't retreat. They never did. But now they were learning what it meant to face humanity when humanity was truly angry. A commander's voice boomed across the battlefield. "This is Colonel Sarah Chen of the Terran Expeditionary Fleet. New Harmony, we apologize for the delayed response. Your distress signal took 18 hours to reach Earth. We came as fast as we could." 18 hours. Mia could barely process it. The Kratheon had attacked at dawn. It was now night. Earth had mobilized an entire battle fleet and crossed 7 light-years in less than a day. Through the doorway, she watched as more dropships screamed down, disgorging tanks, artillery, medical teams. The Kratheon forces that had been systematically destroying the colony were now being systematically destroyed themselves. Their war machines burned, their warriors fell, and above it all, human warships were emerging from faster-than-light transit, their weapons painting the night with brilliant, terrible light. Leo pulled Mia to her feet. "Come on. We need to help evacuate the shelter." But Mia stood frozen, watching as a Titan Company soldier approached. His helmet retracted, revealing a weathered face with kind eyes. "You two held this position alone?" She nodded, unable to find words. The soldier smiled. "Then you're braver than most of my team. Colonel Chen wants all civilians and defenders evacuated immediately. We'll handle cleanup." He paused, looking at the ruined colony around them. "And ma'am? We're going to make sure the Kratheon never forget what happens when they touch Earth's people." As Mia and Leo made their way to the shelter to help with evacuations, she looked up at the sky. More ships were arriving every minute, not just military vessels, but colony ships, construction ships, hospital ships. Earth wasn't just sending soldiers, they were sending everything. The Kratheon had thought humans would be easy prey, another species to add to their collection of conquered worlds. They had thought wrong. Humanity had arrived, and they had brought hell with them.